amazing. Living my best life. Where are you going? You got somewhere to go?
I'm gonna get my Red Bull, man.
You better run.
I am.
So, Brent, how are you?
So do you know coming up in here?
I think he's just gonna.
Do you think they'll be like or like are we risking it or
Yeah, you can just don't drop him without
on the
yeah. Yeah, I don't mind you drinking.
I know some teachers do. Like Miss Walker, she said not to, but not because I was gonna spill it, because of the other people in the class that was playing.
Well, that's a lot of what it is too. Like if it doesn't have a cap, like there's gonna be a bunch of people in here, you know, running
Then
around.
it probably you know.
Right, but I know y'all are just gonna sit there and do what y'all are supposed to do. Like, I ain't really worried about y'all.
No, that made me so mad because of the hooligans. I can't get my Red Bull at the second block anymore. But I still get it for everyone. So
Good. I'm glad you're able to
get my
get
kicks.
your fix, as we like to say.
But yeah, I'm like, this is a good addiction.
It's just crazy words. What if people hear you talking about them? Talking about eating your fix, and they don't know you're talking about a Red Bull.
My mom would say that, and she's never like, I know you're not doing drugs. It's like explaining to her that I was just on my Red Bull. She's not getting it.
Yeah, I can see the confusion.
You know, she just looked at me, she's like, and if I find out you're doing drugs, I'm like, whatever. I literally do ROTC. I don't.
Amy, I'd be mad if I found out you were doing drugs. Dude,
Like, no.
that'd be ridiculous.
If you're her telling me, like, it was her telling me, she's like, hey, is that why you never had money? What? Like, that was an insane statement to make.
Yeah, you need to be spending your money on them chicken biscuits instead of all your drugs,
Oh, my Red Bull.
all your fixings. Oh,
100% at a time, man.
yeah. Alright, so today we're going to talk about workplace issues. Yesterday we kind of talked about, or we did talk about motivating and coaching employees, stuff like that. So we're still staying within the workplace, within the business, but today we're going to be discussing some of the issues. I'm sure y'all can only imagine some of the issues that come up here in the workplace. There's a bunch of stuff that can happen. We're going to talk about it. I don't have any notes for y'all to follow along with. If y'all want to jot some notes while y'all do it, you can, if y'all can. But yeah. So we're going to dive right into these workplace issues. So our objectives for today: to explore the role of technology in the workplace, to identify the effects of organizational structures on workplace dynamics, to identify important responsibilities and safety practices from employers and employees, to research and compare public workplace policies and procedures. Alright. Now the last one's going to be big. We're going to do our assignment's going to focus mainly on that last bullet there. Alright, getting rolling. Workplace issues. So first we're going to talk about the different types of work environments. You can have indoor and outdoor work environments. Some example of the indoor: office, factories, educational settings. Clearly educational settings don't have to be, well, this is an educational setting, but it doesn't just have to be within the school. There's a bunch of other educational settings also. Those of you indoor, your outdoor stuff is going to be physical labor, traveling, and entertainment. Entertainment can also, fall in that indoor category sometimes, but a lot of times entertainment has to do with that travel, so they're moving to entertain. So that's why they got it as an outdoor, but it can also fall in that indoor category. Indoor work environment, some of the advantage, established work area, consistent environment, safe weather changes. Disadvantage, lack of physical activity. You know, you trap behind the desk most of the day, you don't move a whole bunch. That's not every case, but a lot of times when you're working indoors, you don't move near as much. Repetitive environment, you see the same people, you deal with the same stuff every day. Within the educational setting, not as much of the repetition, because you never know what students are going to do, right? So that can be a little out of repetition as far as, you know, you go to class, you do the same thing every day. But in the educational environment, the repetition can change a little bit. The repetitiveness is not as much. Office-related injuries or disease, I mean, that's kind of a tough disadvantage for office because injuries can happen anywhere. You don't want injuries to happen nowhere, but they can happen everywhere. Carpal tunnel, back problems, obesity, depression are some of the things that they got listed as office injuries and disease. Outdoor work environments, some of the advantages, unique work environments. When I used to work construction, we would go all over the place. I would get to work in houses that, like, you would never, looking on the outside, you would never imagine that's what they look like on the inside. So it's pretty cool. You do get to see some cool stuff when you are moving around. And if you're traveling for work, like really traveling different countries, all over the U.S., whatever, yeah, you're going to get to see some cool stuff. You're going to have a unique work environment. It's going to be pretty cool. The enjoyable atmosphere. You know, you're on your own vibe. You know, I feel like a lot of us would kind of enjoy that. But in that same breath, it has its disadvantages. The extreme physical labor sucks, you know. And it's not as, my ladies, y'all won't most likely have a job that's going to deal with the extreme physical labor, but there's still outdoor work environments for women, absolutely, all over the place. Loss of work due to weather conditions. That was another thing I had a problem with when I was working construction. If we're working outside, the weather don't permit, you lose your money that day. It's not all, you know, outdoor jobs are like that, but a lot of them aren't on salary. A lot of them, they have to show up and actually work to make their money. They don't work, they don't get a sick day like a lot of these indoor jobs. They lose out on their money that day. So that's a huge disadvantage. You know, you might think the day off is nice, but when the bills come at the end of the month and you only work, you know, 8 days that month because of weather, it's gonna hurt. You thought them days were nice, were off, but it's gonna hurt. Excessive walking or sedating. You don't really get to sit in that office chair. You always moving, always something to do. And then it says additional safety risks. Anything you do, like I said, as far as working, there are dangerous things you can do to get injured. Working outside, working with big machinery, if you're not following your P's and Q's, it's very easy to get injured. If you're running a saw, or if you're nailing stuff, or whatever the case may be, if you're not paying attention, the safety risks are huge. You gotta be careful. Additional considerations for physical labor: working extended hours, lifting extreme weight, working with difficult or painful tasks, standing for long periods, participating in technical challenges, acquiring calluses and other work-related strains. So extended hours, you know, you don't really work your 9 to 5, like your office job, you work till the job's done type thing, or till you run out of daylight. Lifting extreme weight, you never know what you're gonna have to be doing. It can vary from job to job. It can be not very much heavy lifting, or that way you can be doing it every day. That's one of those things about working outside. You just never really know what you're gonna be doing. It's nice because you don't have the repetitiveness as much. But in that same breath, some people get comfortable in routines and like to stick to stuff. Physical labor, there's nothing really to stick to. It's always going to be a different way to find a way to get the job done. There's no really set way to do anything. It's how you can get it done, and that's the way it gets done. Standing for long periods, obviously, you there ain't chairs anywhere. You sit on the ground. That's about the only seat you got when you're working out in the fields and different stuff. Participating in technical challenges. That's the little things that go wrong all the time. You're working on one thing and bang, you broke this. So now you have to fix this to continue to work on this. It's the hiccups, the bumps in the road. It's pretty much what that is. And when you work outside, there's a whole bunch of them. Not that there ain't on the inside. There are definitely bumps in the road, holdbacks, all that good stuff. But when you're working outside, be prepared to deal with those. And then calluses and other work-related strains. That's like your hands. Y'all know what calluses are. Yeah. All right. Understanding business. An entity engaged in the purchase or sale of specific commodities or in related financial transactions. One person is offering a product or service in exchange for payment. An entrepreneur, a person who starts their own business, organizes, operates, and assumes the risk for business ventures. I'm sure all y'all have heard about an entrepreneur before, right? Cool. Types of business, we got business to business and business to consumer. Business to business is when you sell to another business. Makes perfect sense in the name. Business to business, that's another selling to another business. That's like their example is Coca-Cola selling 12 packs to the grocery store. The grocery stores don't just make our stuff. Big business make it, they sell it to business. Business to business transaction. Then we got customer to business. That's when we walk into the grocery store, go pick some stuff up. That's business to consumer. Types of business. There's a whole bunch of types of business. We ain't gonna go into any of them in depth. We're just gonna talk about or run through them. Sole proprietorship, franchise, a corporation, a partnership, a mission statement. It's different for each business. It pretty much is a summary of what the business's goals are. It says the aims and values, overall plan of the organization, where they're trying to get. What's that business goal? Where they're trying to be? That's their mission statement. Types of workplace. Technology in the workplace include internet usage, database programs, teleconferencing, video conferencing, telecommunicating, network computers, internet usage, that's going to be emails and stuff, database programs, that's going to be where they store information, store data, all the numbers, teleconferencing, it's on the phone, video conferencing, face-to-face on a video, telecommunicating, same thing, through the phone, and then network computers, that's whenever we're almost like Google Classroom where we can all hook up and I post it, you can see it, Brent can see it, we can all see it. Alright. Technological safety issues include surge protector, monitor outlets, firewalls, or virus protectors. Nothing super important there. The organizational structures. They share three common characteristics. All organizations have a purpose. All organizations are comprised of people. All organizations have a formal and informal structure which defines the roles, responsibilities, and workplace behavior. Have a specific structure, including vertical and horizontal organization. Organizational structures should accomplish the following: increase worker productivity, improve company morale, avoid employee gossip and harassment, increase communication efficiency, establish growth, and reach objectives. It's your formal structure. You got top management, middle management, supervisors, employees. We all know that if we've ever worked in any field or watched any type of TV, we know how it works. Characteristics of formal structures include the following: memos, emails, meetings, deadlines, chain of command format, and lateral promotions. responsibility includes keeping employees free from physical or mental harm. Approximately 6,000 work-related deaths are reported each year. 5 million work-related injuries or illnesses are reported each year. Hundreds of work-related errors or incidents go unreported each year. That's a whole bunch of injuries, a whole bunch of bad stuff right there. We have to be responsible when we're working, or bad things can happen. Safe and healthy work environment should be provided by employers and include the following: adequate light, non-smoking work environment for designated areas for smoking breaks, fire escape routes and procedures, ergonomically arranged office equipment, desk and computer screens, proper height and angles, pads provided for computer keyboards to prevent repetitive motion and distress, providing proper training for equipment and machinery. That's your big machinery, the stuff you're going to be operating. Substance abuse in the workplace. This is for you. No,
What?
I'm just playing.
Me and my Red Bull have nothing to do with this.
I'm just playing. Alright, substance abuse in the workplace negatively impacts organizations, may lead to the following: decreased productivity, safety concerns, potential dangerous situations.
This is for the people that smoke weed.
Y'all don't get into this smoking weed and doing all this other nonsense. It ain't safe. It ain't good to do it outside of work. Definitely don't be doing it in the work.
Drink a Red Bull. It'll increase
Yeah,
productivity.
sure. Drink a Red Bull. The response to substance abuse. To protect themselves from negative effects of substance abuse, employers may do the following: make offers of employment conditional upon passing a drug test only if all new employees are subject to drug testing. Offer rehabilitation programs if the employee comes to them for help. Include a specific anti-substance abuse policy in the employee handbook. So that's just some of the ways they're trying to respond to it and keep it out of the workplace. Same thing again, due to employee rights, employers may not do the following: ask an employee if they have ever taken illegal drugs, subject an employee to drug testing not required for others. So that's what employers cannot do. Alright, employer safety. Safe and healthy work environments. Maintain the health and safety of yourself and others by considering these guidelines. Avoid strong smells and harmful materials on furnishing. Participate in physical activity or stress relieving functions. Avoid repetitive stress injuries, carpal tunnel and musculoskeletal disorders. Always drink plenty of water. Always. Even right now. Employee safety training methods. Written manuals, training seminars, memos and emails, safety contracts, performance reviews, practice sessions, or simulations. Especially if we're working outside. If we're doing those outside labor jobs, we're going to have to go through all these safety and performance reviews to make sure we're doing everything right and everybody around us is safe. You'll have to do that a little bit in the office job, but it's not near as strict because clearly it's not the same. So talk about OSHA. OSHA, I don't know if y'all ever heard them talk about it on job site. That is strictly your outside labor stuff. That is your Occupational Safety and Health Act. So this act was brought into play in 1970. It ensures employers establish safe working conditions free of dangers which can physically harm employees, cover everything from equipment which might cause injury to unhealthy effects of long-term exposure to radiation, chemicals, or airborne pollutants. So OSHA is supposed to be taking care of the employees. So more on OSHA. They require frequent and safety and health inspections, regulate standards for the following: noise level, air impurities, equipment regulations, proper tool and safety gear, hazardous substances, and dangerous work conditions. They're checking for all that stuff. This kind of the schedule they use is based on the following 5-item priority list. Immediate danger, serious accidents which have occurred within the last 40 days.
Excuse me, please, there was supposed to be an announcement this morning about the health center. The health center is closed, if it's an emergency, send the students to the office, do not allow them to call home until they come to the office. Thank you.
About an hour a week.
Must be nice to be doing, get paid for doing nothing.
So, I don't know exactly where I was at, but inspections of targeted industries displaying a high injury ratio and random inspections. So that's kind of their scheduling and how they do things. It's not really much of a schedule, they more do it when stuff's going on or when they feel like, I agree, they call it a schedule, but that's what they call it. The personal health and wellness standards of OSHA includes the following. Provide workers with fresh air, test new buildings for toxins and safety hazards, provide a smoke-free environment, keep air ducts clean and dry, allow for employee wellness exams and checkups. Causes of work-related accidents. This could be human error, carelessness, intoxication, daydreaming, human deficiency, poor job skills and training, environmental conditions. So there's a bunch more reasons related to work accidents, but these are the main ones that we see. Accident prevention standards for employees include educate employees, provide specific training, utilize engineering services, purchase protective devices, regulate and enforce employee behavior, respond to issues immediately. Don't let those issues sit around and build up and get worse. Get on it, nip it in the bud. Accident prevention standards for employees include inspect the work areas and surroundings, emphasize safe practices among coworkers, take protective action. Equipment safety procedures include conduct frequent checks, remove obsolete or malfunctioning equipment, monitor equipment for electrical malfunction, provide up-to-date equipment, participate in safety training, stay alert and attentive, avoid horseplay near or around equipment. Emergency planning should include the following steps. Create an evacuation or employee safety plan, communicate and practice the plan, modify and adjust the plan as needed. This is advised for the following emergencies. This can be hurricane, floods, tornadoes, earthquake, fires, or terrorism. That's what you're advised to do during those emergencies. Environmental hazards include the following potential dangers: loose steps on a ladder or staircase, hazardous waste or materials, chemical spills, slippery walkways, sharp objects. Some of the sanitation practices we need to be using: obtain appropriate permits and license, require employees to maintain personal sanitation standards, check the use of food handler permits when needed, establish hand washing procedures when appropriate. Workers' compensation. I'm sure y'all heard it's called workers' comp before. Workers' comp is a program dedicated to providing insurance for work-related injuries. This is required by law for employees who are injured on the job. It's utilized by thousands of employers and employees each year. This provides a replacement income and medical expenses when you're injured or when you're sick. Alright, workplace policies. This will be the last one we talk about, I do believe. Workplace policy should be clear, concise, detailed, and relevant, practiced by all employees, communicated and reviewed frequently, communicated through multiple channels. So, clear and concise, clearly you don't want any questions when it comes up to it. Detailed and relevant, it's gotta be relevant to our workplace. If it ain't relevant to us, it's irrelevant. Practiced by all employees, that's a big one. You know, some people think they're above the law. Everybody's got to do these workplace policies. Communicated and reviewed frequently. That gives people no excuse to say they didn't know. Gives people no excuse to say they didn't understand if we're constantly doing it. Can't say they forgot. Communicate through multiple channels, face-to-face, email, through text, through a call, whatever it may be. Let them know multiple ways. Another, way to save you behind for them to be like, oh, nobody told me. Like, nah, I told you here, I told you here. You got multiple backup plans to show. Ethical and legal violations. This includes the following: sexual harassment, discrimination based on age, race, sex, ethnicity, national origin, religion, pregnancy, discrimination based on disability. These are covered under the Title IX of the Civil Rights Act, which is enforced by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Include implementing a company, this is strategies to address the violations. Include implementing a company policy concerning ethical and legal violations, stated clearly in the employee handbook. Allow for reporting procedures and violations to be known by all employees, entail taking immediate action when violation comes to employees' attention. Sexual harassment involves the making of unwanted, obscene remarks or sexual advances, such as referring to a person's physical appearance, inappropriate touching, requesting inappropriate action, sending pictures, or literature of a sexual nature. Sexual harassment policies should be definitive and strong, including the following: zero tolerance, examples for clarifications, clear definition, complaint procedure, confidentiality, and training. The Fair Labor Standard Act, that was written by the Congress in 1938. It enacted the maintenance of the minimum standard of living necessary for health, efficiency, and general well-being of workers. So that's literally taking care of the workers. At one point in time, thank goodness it was before us, workers were not treated very well. They were put through very bad situations. They weren't paid good, a bunch of bad stuff. So they made this Fair Labor Act to take care of it. That's what created minimum wage, enforced any hours over 40 a week to be overtime. So they made 40 an hour the minimum. That's 8 a day on a 5-day work week. It's the most you can work. You work more than that, they get you overtime. We had people working 60, 70 hours a week, killing themselves, giving their life away to work. That's all they did. So the Fair Labor Act came in and saved us on that. The employee confidential policy, I'll run through this real quick. It's created by the company CEO. Needs to be set in order to clarify how confidential data and information should be handled. It's translated in a legal document signed by employer and employee. States there are no implied license to the technology or information granted to the employee. Breach of confidentiality consequences. So we go back, somebody breaks one of these policies, this is what happens. Get fired, straight up termination, gone, lawsuit, criminal charges, negative reputation. Some people, the negative reputation is the worst one. It hurts them. But yeah, you don't want none of this. If it ain't got nothing to do with you, even if it has something to do with you, it includes somebody else. Leave it be. Leave it be. Don't everybody need to know your business. The bad things can happen, especially in business today. But even for y'all today, this negative repetition thing right now in your life, that's something that y'all gotta deal with. So keep things confidential. Don't be giving out all your business, all that good stuff. Alright, so that's it on this PowerPoint.
We did it.
No, we're gonna, they got a little assignment y'all about to do. It'll be a fun time for y'all. So y'all gonna go on this computer. Y'all can use y'all iPad or a real computer if you want. It don't matter to me. They both got the same internet. But what we're gonna do is y'all are gonna search up some employee handbooks, and y'all are gonna look up their policies and stuff. Just look up some handbooks, and you are gonna write your own workplace policies for a fictional company that you're running. So
How
you,
many policies?
what is it? Oh, I got it right there. 15. I want 15 policies. And this doesn't, you don't have to steal them all from another website. If you already know you got 4 on the top of your head for my business, this will definitely be a policy. You can go ahead and use those 4 or 5. But to create that whole 15, let's get in some research. Let's find some other companies. We can think about companies we like too. I don't know what y'all like. If y'all like, we can look up Apple or look up, you can look up Walmart. You think about stores that you like to shop at. Like, for me, I'd probably look up some sports stores and see how they ran it. Airpostle, yeah, think about some stores you like and look up their policies. And if you see a policy you really like from them, take their policy, write it down, and then, once you got your 15, we'll talk about what we're going to do next. And if you go down to number 4 on that sheet I just gave y'all, it says your policy should fit the atmosphere you desire. Don't just write down some policies that you're like, oh, I think that's a good idea. Make this yours. Make it yours. Make it something that you want to be. Be creative. Think deep, and then we're going to talk about why we chose the policies we chose. Take about 15, 20 minutes to do that. Dig deep. We got all these resources of the computer in front of us. Let's use them to our advantage. another couple minutes, so we'll talk about.
What if you're not coming up to that? Home turtles. Okay.
Sure, well, something like that. We're gonna talk about it. Just make sure you got enough to
What about just grab
save your piece.
one grab stick? Like something stick, and then I'll just grab stick. We turned it 5-5-5.
Yeah. Yeah. Look up a couple more places and see what they ride the road. Yeah, I need to go a couple more minutes to finish it up. Brent, you not done or you get to the thing?
We're done? Okay. I don't feel like driving all
That
day.
dude right there.
I'm ready to go home.
You ain't charging yesterday?
Why?
You got one of the new ones or one of the old ones? Like which charger is it? Oh, I guess, I'm sure you got one of the ones that takes like just a regular phone charger, but I know USB-C. Yeah, I ain't got one of the chargers, sorry, man. Big Mark, you got it. Tell me what you need.
I did it out. I did it out. I did it out. No, I told them how they can get more pay time off.
I'm ready to go.
I did upload parts. I'm just such a good boss. Oh, come on, like, did they do good? I did that. I just told them.
If they get hurt, like workers' comp.
Benefits.
Workers' comp.
I'm not that good of a boss because I did not believe the benefits. Oh.
Uh-oh, there you go. Look at all these ideas getting smacked around. There you go, Amy. Finish up now.
Oh, they can do that, I guess. You may not know what that is right now.
No, don't give her one. Make her
Oh,
find it. Make her hunt down the last one.
Okay.
Make her dig deep in her brain and find it.
Ah.
Y'all think about some more places y'all can look at, you know, more big stores or more stores y'all like to shop at.
Walmart's policy is that if you're late to work 3 times, they'll fire you. You think I wanted to read that?
That's a tough policy, but I mean, that's just one of their policies, and they ain't gotta take every single one.
Right, and then it was
Well,
like.
you ain't gotta choose Walmart, that was just one of my examples.
No, and then it was like telling me about how easy you can get fired. Like they go off a point system, whether like points are bad. And how like it was so bad. I'm like, I will never work at Walmart. Like this is motivating me to go to college. Like
My sister was working there, and after 3 months, she got fired, and everyone else that she knew was there was already gone.
like and that's how easy it is to get fired at Walmart. That motivated me to go to college. I was reading that. I'm like, I'm never working there.
I hear Walmart pays good though.
It pays good you step into that store,
It pays actual minimum wage.
oh my gosh, a place that pays minimum wage. I'm so impressed by the bare minimum. Shame on them.
You need the $15 minimum wage.
And you know they make so much money.
Literally,
Like
like
50 cents more.
No, I'm talking about like Walmart Corporation.
Oh yeah, they make like $4 trillion a year.
no, it's not even that. Like they were bragging about the fact that this person received them for millions of dollars, and then one of their sponsors was like, "Oh yeah, that was like 2 hours of my time." What? What? That is an insane statement to tweet. And I was like, hey, I want to be so rich that I can tweet that. That was 2 hours of my time. Anyways, somebody should really give me the last one.
No, you got it. What's the store you really like?
And a problem.
Well, you already said something about everybody.
Aristotle.
Hot topic.
Hot topic, yeah, look at one there. You can think about like big business too, you know, like your insurance, if you look up Allstate or Geico or, you know, something like that, and you see their policies, you gotta think just stores you shop at, you think big company.
I think I can use one.
You should give me the exercise.
Oh, I see.
I'm not trying to do no work, man.
Alright, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Agenda.
Perfect. Alright, y'all ready to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah.
So what was some of the places y'all looked up to start with? I know we had AirPods, so what was some of the other places? we looked up?
Walmart.
Walmart, what other policy places?
Just general policies.
Just general policy, you went straight off the dome, just
No.
coming up with,
Like he said, just policies.
okay, okay. Okay, alright, let me hear y'all's policies, whoever wants to go first, I wanna hear all y'all's policies, all 15 of them. I wanna hear them all, hear what y'all got. The good thing is, it's not like we gotta present, you know, cause there's only 3 of us, so you ain't gotta like talk in front of the whole class, you really just read it to me and to her. So here we go. We all gotta go, so whoever wants to jump us off,
Okay, I'm
let's get
saying,
it, I love it.
probably dress code,
Okay.
and I'm just saying, if you know we got a dress code, why come in looking any kind of way?
Okay, so you just saying, you're not saying dress fancy, but you're talking about just follow what we got in line for us. Okay, what we got next?
Employee time, emergency leave, I'm saying like, hurt during or outside workplace, at workplace.
Okay, so you like outside or during. Clearly during you're gonna cover it, but even what if I'm doing something stupid? I work for you and I don't know, not doing something stupid, but saying playing pickup basketball with some friends. I break my leg. It's still gonna cover that? Alright, cool, cool.
Okay, I
Go ahead.
said break and lunch periods.
Okay, I like that. I like to eat.
Remain working until work.
Okay, so almost like working bell to bell, like no free time whenever it's work time.
I mean, yeah,
Whenever it's time to work, you doing work. Okay.
and it's not a main one, harassment and discrimination.
Okay, I'm glad you put something about harassment because a lot of people, a lot of times, especially I notice in the classroom, like nobody wants to really talk about sexual harassment. It's a little bit of a sticky subject, and everybody just kind of looks over it. They're like, let's not talk about it. We actually got a little assignment on the sexual harassment, so I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people they just want to put that on the back burner, but it's something we need to talk about and we need to understand. So I'm glad you said that. What else you got for us?
Like I said, background check,
Okay.
no cell phone use during work hours.
I like that. That's gonna be a tough one to make people follow now though, but I mean, I'm all for it. What about for emergency use? You gotta go email, computer,
That's what I'm saying, you can still have a phone, but just
Okay.
don't use it while you're working.
okay, okay. So you can still have it, it's not like you gotta turn it in, you just don't be on it. Okay. I
And
got you.
being drug free during like, okay. I mean, I don't really know, just drug free, don't come knowing you high, whatever, you know what I'm saying.
Right. What about, so this might seem a little crazy to even ask you, but you talk about don't come high to work. What about your people that struggle from the anxiety and stuff that like smoke a little weed at night? How you feel, what about that as for your policy?
I mean, just do it on your own time.
So,
Don't come.
I mean, that's fine, we can talk about it. So, on your own time, you know, whatever you do on your time is your business, as long as you handle business in work and not showing up intoxicated in any form. Okay, I like that. I mean, I was just wondering.
And I said showing up late, cause
You gotta, in order to get paid and do a job, you gotta be there. Yep, yep.
and I said leaving before you're supposed to leave.
Okay, people be trying to cut out a little early. Okay, I like that. And that would be me, I ain't gonna lie. If I can slip out, I'd be slipping out. Nah, I'm just playing.
And I said no stealing.
I like that. Because we ain't really talk about no stealing, but theft is a huge thing that it's really ridiculous. Because a lot of times it's a little petty theft, little $15, $20 items that people be stealing and ain't even nothing serious. Little petty theft. So I like the stealing. Okay. Is that it or you, what
I
else you
mean,
got?
cancellation policy. That's something I just looked at. But basically, if you're not gonna come to work, tell me before, like, tell me ahead of time. basically.
Okay, fair warning. I like that. I like that. Alright.
Oh,
No, you go ahead. You got your one. Alright, well that was good. I liked all of it. I really like the sexual or the harassment one, and what was the other one that I really liked? Oh, the stealing. Really like that you put the stealing in there. That's cool. So let's go next. Let me hear what we got.
I like the diversity and equality, so like treat everybody with respect. Like even if they're a new person or you're only or the person of your business, I feel like everybody should be treated equal.
What if I'm really bad at my job?
You're really mad at your job, okay, but that doesn't mean you don't deserve equal respect. Like that's how I feel about it. I know that's like a little controversial, but I feel like respect shouldn't go based on what somebody can do, but because they're human. Because at the end of the day, not everybody's perfect, so why should I want perfection when I know I can't do it myself?
I like that. What's the repercussion for, being a dirty person? Let's hear it.
So like you have write-ups, and so if this goes in my termination, that's one of my little policies. After either 5 small write-ups or 2 big write-ups, you're up for termination.
What separates them? Is that
So small write-ups,
is that your discretion, or is there a baseline?
so there would be, I was thinking about like my job at RBC, so there would be in every department, there would be a person like me, and they would do the big write-ups and the small write-ups. And after so many write-ups, then they would come tell me, and then you have to come home. They'd be like, yo, why are you doing this? Why are you just starting this?
So what if I get 2 big write-ups and the second one I'm like, I don't think that should be a big write-up. What separates
I'll
that?
let you discuss it out. I'll let you explain to me why you don't think that's a big write-up, and if you can sway my decision, then it could be one write-up. But like smaller write-ups.
So
are like,
you're all about being fair. Like
Yeah.
you allow somebody to plead their case.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that's how I am with like just in general. So I feel like everybody should have the right to plead their case. If you think you can change my mind, it's a
so they change your mind. They do a really good job. They plead your case. Bang, they get wrote up again.
okay. Then you're putting my offer.
But then they plead another great case. They plead another great case. Almost better than the first one.
Almost better.
But this is quote unquote their third, it's not their third, but this would be their third big write-up. What are we doing there?
So I'm gonna be like, yo, you're playing with my bag. You're disturbing everybody. So either I'm gonna switch them out, like you're getting switched to the corner. You're not gonna be working there anymore. Because clearly it's either the environment or you.
So not necessarily terminated, but relocated.
Yeah, you're gonna be relocated. And
Okay.
if you start causing problems where you're relocated, then
Then
you're
it's
a problem.
termination.
Because some people, they just don't work well with others.
You're right.
Like, that's
Absolutely.
not-
Absolutely.
I completely understand. I don't like some of the people here. That's why I want to crash out. But it's fine. So then we have anti-drug, alcohol, same thing. Don't come to work high. Don't do whatever you want on your own time. Just not here, because that disturbs the workplace. No one wants to deal with someone else alone.
What if I'm showing up to work sober, but it's still affected my work a little bit? Like you can tell that my work is slacking off. Like I'm not doing as good
Is this
as I
like every
once
day?
was, but I'm so. Let's say it's 3 out of 5 days. Not every day, but some days you can tell. Like I'm sober, but some days you can tell he ain't his 100% self. What are we doing?
I feel like I talked to you about it. I was like, hey, because like sometimes it isn't always something to do. It's just personal. Like I understand mental illness. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like that should be an open conversation to have in the workplace, because just because you physically can't see their injuries, mental illness is like a broken leg. You can't expect somebody to work with a broken leg. So if you're struggling, why should I expect you to do your 100% whenever I know you're not 100% there?
Okay, I like that. Continue.
So it'll be that, just don't get high. Don't get high at the workplace. Because,
What's that
that's,
clearly? That's
don't be smoking heroin. I mean,
yeah. Stay away from that.
our dress code would be business casual.
Business casual. Okay.
Yeah. Anti-discrimination. So if this is the only thing that if like you do discrimination, you're not pleading my case, you're getting fired. Off of that is.
First time.
First
no.
time you're leaving. You're leaving. I feel
So
like
when we say discrimination, are we talking race, age,
All of it.
gender, all of it, the whole platform? Okay.
So here's why I personally feel this way about discrimination in the workplace. I feel like that's like a touchy topic, just because people are different. Okay, people are different. You can still respect them. Like I feel like skin color, gender, you shouldn't not respect somebody over something that they can't control. I feel like attitude, you can control that. I can understand feeling some type of discriminate somebody just because they're a different religion than you. That's not really something I can control. That'd be like somebody discriminating against me because I'm Hispanic. What am I gonna do? Bleach my skin? I mean, there's not.
What if I were to make like a bad joke, like
About
about women or something? I can't really think of anything. But what if I was to make like I think it's funny.
You think it's
You
funny?
know, I think I'm doing no harm, but it really hurts both of y'all's feelings. Y'all take it personal.
I take it personally.
Brent thinks it's funny too, but
Oh, Brent.
y'all take it funny. Then what's the because I didn't mean harm, even though I caused harm, I didn't mean it. Am I
That'd be
still
like a big
fired immediately? Okay, so that's a big
You should
right.
probably have a re-education program telling them about stuff like that.
Okay.
That's probably
Hurt.
good.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of this education, I wouldn't relocate you, not yet. If you peed me off again, I probably would. I'd give you the education, it'd be a big write-up. I'll explain to you why. I'd probably make you read Anne Frank, that'd be that. I'd make you read something that'll touch you emotionally.
Okay.
Hell, don't come to work sick. You have paid time off for this reason. If my company's giving it, then use it, man. Safety. Don't do things that are done in the workplace. You know, this is more human era. If you visibly see that a ladder doesn't work, then why are you using the ladder? Questions, no answers. Employee privacy. Your life outside of the workplace is not my concern. That's not my business.
I agree 100%. What if I'm posting nothing to do with the workplace, but I post something on Instagram, people know that I worked at that place, very negative post, whatever it is,
What
something.
is it? Is it like discriminatory? Like,
Sure, we'll use discriminatory for, I post something racist on my Instagram.
that's
What-
an insane statement.
Yeah, what's the word? Because that's my personal life, that's my opinions, but it's negatively affecting your company. What's the,
So here's the thing. I wouldn't care unless it is affecting my workplace.
okay, so.
That would affect
it's-
my workplace.
So as soon as it starts affecting the workplace,
You're
okay.
coming, you're getting a call to my office. I'm gonna let you explain. You know, if you're being racist, I'll make you read something about Harriet Tubman. We're getting the education. You're not being racist. Okay, I'm just being so real. I hate racist people. I'm making
I hear you. It's
Oh.
this is all an example.
I'm making you read a
This
book.
is all an example. so
No.
Anything that hurts the business, you need to tell the person
I
about.
crash out on you, baby. I'm explaining to you why being racist isn't a good thing.
What if I'm just like partying on my Snapchat? Not necessarily hurting the company, but they're
I
like,
don't care.
dang, that company really hires students like that.
And I'll look at them like, dang, he
That's-
actually puts 40 hours in them like you. You're over here watching this story and he's putting
Okay.
the work in.
So if they're handling their business at work, they're getting their hours, they're making you money. As long as it's not anything ridiculously crazy.
You're not saying nothing negative about women. I
We're
don't care,
good.
man.
Alright.
You putting them 40 hours in. Guess what? I don't care.
I'm all for
They're
that.
watching your story, being at home eating lunch. You're Monday morning. You're waking up and going to work. I don't care.
I got you. I'm with that. Alright, continue.
Confidentiality. So anything. So this is more about like previous before you worked at my company. I don't care if you used to be a drug addict, man. Are you a drug addict now? No. Okay, good. Come work them 40 hours.
Okay.
For me, I don't really care too much. I'll hire an ex-convict. They're putting in them 40 hours. Guess what? You're hired. I don't really care. It's not. The confidentiality is more about whether or not the person would want to tell them. So it's more like if you don't want your coworker to know anything, great. I'm not going to tell you anything. You don't have to tell them anything. That's nobody's business. The only thing I would say about the confidentiality is let's say you have like assault and battery. Sorry, not sorry, they're finding out.
Right. See, bigger, I was gonna ask that, but clearly for bigger cases, anything murder, anything ridiculous, like, that's a difference. You're talking about small petty crime, maybe theft when they were 18 years old and now they're 30, they did, like, something like that. Is that, I'm right there with you, I got you.
I believe in rehabilitation.
I got you.
Termination after, like I said, after 5 small write-ups or 2 big write-ups. And so the thing with the 5 write-ups, every 6 months is like it gets like clean. So I mean, you gotta took it out for 6 months. Don't get 2 big write-ups. That's not all it's asking. Disciplinary procedures. So just explaining like the small write-ups or more or for like being late, not doing your work, stuff like that. Big write-ups are like discrimination, not following the dress code, being high at work, stuff like that.
What else we got?
Promotions. Everybody loves making more money. So promotions would happen twice a year.
Obviously only deserved, right?
Right. So obviously not everyone is gonna promote. There's always the next time.
So when we say promotion, are we talking actual like
More like
title change, or okay, so just pay raises, not necessarily title changes, like, cause
no,
eventually you can't go higher than
they
superior, man, than you, right, so, okay, I'm
so
following.
like more money, and I feel like after 3 or 4 promotions, you'd be able to get a time raise. I feel like after that you kind of run a circle if you're doing so well. And you can also get demoted. Like if you're like if I'm if this is my 3rd time relocating you, you're affecting my bag, so I'm affecting yours.
What if I got a family, people?
I'm not gonna feel bad. Who told you to make racist jokes about women?
Fair enough.
I made you read Anne Frank and you still didn't listen. So
I like it,
I guess your kids are gonna buy great value for a little while.
I like it.
Okay. Merits. So merits are kind of like when you're doing really good or if you're helping out, you get paid time off or paid time off. And
Oh, wow.
merits can help you with your promotion.
So it's pretty much like the reward system.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
So merits can help you promote.
Do
So,
y'all
like,
have merits in ROTC?
Yeah.
Where you got that?
Yeah. And so these are what help you promote. So like one merit can even out one bad small writing.
Okay,
So
I
you
like
can-
that.
I feel like if you can go down, you have to find a way to come up.
Okay.
And also, so like let's say we're in between promotions and you're going to get somebody that is in the neutral, but you have 5 really good merits, you're probably going to be able to promote because you've done so well beforehand. So like, it's not just about work. I feel like if you have a good attitude and you're doing really well, you work well with others, then yeah, you deserve that. You deserve more. Yeah, benefits. You get 2 weeks paid time off and free health care.
That's yearly?
Yeah, yearly. Well, I don't know, maybe. I haven't thought that far yet. Remote working. So if I need somebody to go represent my company in another country, you can go and we'll pay the hotel, the food, and like your placements. After that, don't ask me nothing else.
No, that's not enough.
And also medical leave. So like some people they get pregnant, some people they get into a car accident, life happens. You can get anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, and if you ever need more, just call me up and explain the situation. And that's it.
Alright, let me hear what you got, Brent. Scroll through this. It's here.
Employee contact. Employees get the employee handbook telling them what they can and are expected to do. And that leads into disciplinary action. The disciplinary action is for whenever they don't follow rules.
Right.
And so it all depends on what type of stuff they did to get there.
It all depends on the action for the severity of the punishment, I got you.
Equal opportunity, we're not just going to reject someone because they're different.
Okay. Equal opportunity, you're talking race.
Race,
eh,
sex, anything, age,
Okay.
social media, just don't hurt.
What about, to go back to the last one, what about education?
Education? That's going to be a sort of requirement because education is needed to work.
We talking high school or we talking college diploma?
So it depends on the regions they work in.
Okay. Okay. So say I start in the lower region, have no college diploma, can I still work up throughout your corporation?
Yes,
Even
so
though I don't
they'll
have it?
train you for that.
Okay, okay. So I would still have to go through some sort of education to be able to work myself up, okay?
Can be on work education.
I like it, and would you pay for that?
Of course we do.
Alright.
We don't expect you to just pull it out of pocket.
And am I still getting paid for those hours of work, or are you just paying me to take the or are you just paying for the course? Like, am I getting, say this course is 12 hours long, am I getting paid for those 12 hours? Or is
Yes.
it like I'm
You
off
get-
that day?
You get paid.
Okay, so you pay me for those 12 hours and you pay for the course. Okay.
Because it equals out, because if you're going out to hire and you make us more money, and it needs paid for.
It pays for itself ultimately. Okay, continue.
In social media, you can post whatever, just as long as it doesn't hurt business or any big, stuff.
Okay, pretty much same idea as Emmy as far as the social media. Okay.
Paid time off, you get paid time off.
How much PTO we talk?
Depends on your situation, if you're sick,
What about just average year? I have a great year of health. I just want to take a vacation with my family. How much time do I got of PTO?
probably wrong.
How much vacation time do I have? Or is that PTO considered included into that vacation time?
Vacation time is a month, and paid time off is about 2 weeks.
Okay. So when I worked for your company, I only worked 10.5 months a year. Okay. Continue. I like that. I'm with it.
Confidentiality. Whatever is said in private conversation stays private.
So within our walls, it stays within our walls.
Like a doctor's Hippocratic oath.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Health and safety. We want to be safe. And if you have any health concerns, you can go to HR to report anything you want.
I got a question for all y'all. When y'all built y'all's business and y'all said, were y'all indoor or outdoor? Indoor, indoor.
I think it's amazing.
You think you want to mix both? Okay, fair enough. Alright, continue. I just was wondering.
Workers' comp,
Workers' comp, yep.
in case you are injured or get sick on the job, we pay for that.
Strictly on the job.
On the job, because if it's off the job, then it's not covered. But if you get sick at home because someone at work was sick, we'll pay for that too.
Okay, okay. I like that.
Travel plans, if you need to travel out somewhere to get to us, we'll pay for your meals, your expenses to get there, and we'll give you a room set up.
Nice, nice.
Remote work, if you have to stay at home and work because you have issues to deal with at home. Maybe you're a single parent.
What if I want to work 40 hours a week at home? I don't ever want to come into the office. But I get my work done. My work is done.
It's
But-
fine as long as the work's done.
Okay.
Whenever the work isn't done, that's when the hours starts.
Okay, so as soon as the work done, so how long would it have to be? Say I'm getting my work done, I don't see you for a month. Are you cool with that? As long as my work's done.
As long as you get the meet success criteria.
Okay. As long as I'm meeting success criteria, we're very free on the work schedule. We can work remote. Okay. All right. Finish up for me. How many? You should be about done.
Tobacco and smoking products, they'll be area for that.
Okay. Even when you say the tobacco products, like some dip, like my dip, I can hide it. Nobody know I got it in. Am I still not allowed to dip everywhere else?
If I see you, I will tell you, hey, you're supposed to be doing this over here, not here. We have special breaks for that.
But not real no consequence. Just like, hey bro, we supposed to be over here, not right here.
After enough times, it will be
After enough time. So you keeping tallies of these times, or is it just kind of a mental note? Be like, dang, I gotta tell this dude something a lot.
It'd probably just be, this person's not really going there a lot, so,
Okay. Was that the last one? You got a couple more?
employee complaints, that just falls under the, HR department of if there's any complaints you can give. And, that's about it.
Alright, cool, cool. Well, good job, guys. I like those a lot. I think we did really well on that. Thinking, about what kind of business we would like to run.
Can I go my cell phone now?
So we just, y'all ain't gotta write down, we just gonna run through this, have to talk about it real quick discussion. I'm gonna get y'all's opinion.
Oh, cool.
Just,
What is this?
strengthen our, it's just, situational stuff to strengthen the understanding. But I ain't making y'all write, we just gonna kinda talk about it. so in an office space, well, first off, so this is sexual harassment or not. We're determining and we're talking about what is and what isn't and why we believe that way. So, in an office space filled with cubicles, the coworker next to you often takes personal phone calls from her friends. During these phone calls, she talks loudly and uses profanity during these conversations. It's just sexual harassment. Do you think it can be a form of harassment?
Yes.
Definitely can be form of harassment. Why do we think that it can be considered harassment? What in there is
The provocative.
the language, right? The profanity. That can cause some people to feel a certain way, and then you go get reported. So yeah, not sexual, but that's still harassment. You can't be just spewing out whatever you want inside the workspace. On to the next one. Bill, so we all agree on that one?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Bill keeps asking Mary out for dinner. Mary has politely told him no, but Bill is persistent. The continuation of Bill asking is starting to make Mary uncomfortable. Mary is Bill's department manager. What do we think?
As soon as it becomes uncomfortable,
As soon as it becomes uncomfortable, 100% it's sexual harassment. As soon as, whether it's guy or female, as soon as they're uncomfortable, that's a problem. Alright? So we all agree on that. And like, even though, what's his name? Bill didn't, technically do anything, that's still there. It's still evident. Like, there's things you cannot do. Like, if she tells you no, that's it, bro. Get on out of it. That's it.
try again next week.
I was about to say, that's still probably gonna be sexual harassment,
He's
but.
gonna like a year? Oh my god. He needs to get better game.
During the weekly staff meeting, Tanner often tells inappropriate jokes. Most of the staff laughs at Tanner's jokes, but it makes Susie uncomfortable. What do we think?
Like, what type of jokes are we talking about? Like, is this,
Prelude to the office, please.
let's
It's
call it-
prelude to the office.
is it about women? Or like, what about the jokes?
So it says
basically?
Tanner. Yeah, let's say it's about women. Let's say it's
If
about women.
then yeah. Especially if she's the only woman in the room, then I can understand what they're thinking.
So we're saying,
A
what do
very
you
high
think?
likely possibility of using.
You said high likely. I agree. I think that offensive and like crude jokes like that, like they shouldn't be told in office. Like they just keep it away. It really shouldn't even be talking about nasty stuff with your friends like that. But definitely keep it out of the office. So good. Mark and Katie have just started dating. They have worked well with each other for years. They seem to be very happy. They take their lunches together and are often seen flirting by the copy machine. Is this sexual harassment?
As long as both parties are okay with that, I'll see.
Both parties are cool with it. Do y'all see any problem with this in the workplace? As long as their work's done.
They're not really.
I see a problem.
What's the problem?
If people see y'all or something like
Yeah,
this,
because-
they don't feel a type of way because I got doing this in the workplace.
I agree. I agree.
You could fall into the jurisdiction of public display of affection.
So
A
PDA,
little
they're
PDA, a little
Yeah.
PDA. I agree. So I don't think it's harassment of any sort, but I definitely do not think it's appropriate for the workplace.
Yeah, you have to do it on your own time.
I agree. That's a great technique. So I agree wholeheartedly on that one. Alright. On to the back page. We got 3 more to talk about real quick. Richard sends out frequent emails to the whole office, which often contains inappropriate jokes of sexual nature. He and a few others find the emails very funny. However, Tracy thinks the emails are very appropriate and does not like receiving them. That's almost like what I said a minute ago. So what do we think about that?
Yeah.
Definitely sexual harassment, right? 100%. Can't be doing that in the office. Can't be doing that. Especially leaving your track records on an email. That just ain't disappearing. Like, they got the receipts on you, bro. Like, you're done. It's one thing to say it, it's still not right, but definitely to just be sending it out for anybody to see, that's unacceptable. Jerry, the department manager, compliments Brittany every day. Some days on her shoes, some days on her shirt. but always something. Brittany always smiles and says thank you. And we think that that is sexual harassment.
As long as she's not uncomfortable.
As long as she's not uncomfortable and he's just giving a compliment, I don't see anything wrong. As soon as he oversteps that boundary and she feels uncomfortable, sexual harassment. But as long as it's friendly, you know, Emmy, I like your shoes today, we're good. We're good. Last one. Jennifer is called into Tom's, her boss, office. He tells Jennifer she needs to start dressing more professionally. This upsets Jennifer. Is this any type of harassment, sexual harassment? What do we think?
No,
You could be seeing sexual harassment from the other party, though.
From when you say,
From like the boss's point of view, he sees that.
explain yourself.
Hard to explain. I'm not very good at explaining. It's just, that's just the way it is.
So like, from Jennifer's perspective, she could see it as sexual. Whose perspective?
From all of the other people that's just making them uncomfortable by dressing like that.
Okay, so you're saying that she can be the one doing the sexual harassment by dressing that way. Is that ultimately what you're saying?
I mean, we don't know how she dresses.
But we don't know how she's dressed. We don't know
I feel like that'd be more unprofessional than sexual harassment.
So we're saying like a dress code thing more
Yeah.
than a harassment. Okay. And like Tommy, what was it? Tom, her boss, like maybe a little different if, you know, a fellow coworker says something, but as her boss saying she's dressed inappropriately, that's just him laying his standards out there and she's gotta dress better. Like we said, we don't know how she's dressing, whether it's, you know, too casual or she's dressing where all her business is out, like we don't know. So, good. So I'm glad we get to talk about that a little bit, and then I'm gonna get y'all to bang this out before we leave. We ain't gonna go over it today, I'm gonna just look at it when y'all get done. So y'all just take this last 5 minutes we got, whatever, and bang this out real quick. We might talk about it real quick if we get time, but probably not. I'm gonna just see how well y'all do. Huh?
Are we gonna do work tomorrow?
Just bang that out. Make sure y'all write those names on it too, please.
So students, if you are driving a blue Firebird, the alarm is going off. Blue Firebird, the alarm is going off.
Is that any of y'all's Firebird out there, alarm going on? That ain't y'all? Y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Enjoy lunch.